Hi, I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is main characters that are librarians in romances. I have never met a librarian that actually embodied the librarian stereotype. I've certainly met many buttoned up white women librarians, but never like that absolute stereotypical youngish to old maid spinster bun, glasses, bun-up shirt, pencil skirt. Never met that one. Did I still try and embody it for my thumbnail? Yes, I did. Also, shout out to my very favorite librarian, Ashley from Bookish Realm. If you are not subscribed to her channel, I highly recommend. Alright, so this is a video that I've wanted to do for quite a while, and I really didn't have enough recommendations for it. And I do. I have 5. I did stretch it a little bit, sue me. But I do have the recommendations for 5 librarian main characters that have a romance, so that's what we're gonna do. First off, I have Breathe, which is Colorado Mountain number something by Kristen and Ashley. You don't have to read the series in order. It can be helpful if you do for kind of the overall crime plot, but it's definitely not necessary. I personally read it out of order and maybe didn't even finish the series. I don't know. Like, I jumped around a lot, so it's hard to say. So here we have a librarian who happens to be a virgin, and she has been in love with kind of this cop for a while, and he's somebody who's trying to make the world a better place, but he got caught up because of his dad in a corrupt cop thingy and was forced into a marriage with somebody, and she ended up being tragically murdered. And so even though he was not in love with her and did not want to be married to her and kind of hated her for forcing him into the marriage, you know, he didn't want her brutally murdered and possibly raped. So definitely content warnings. This is kind of romantic suspense adjacent or in it. I don't know. But if I'm remembering correctly, there's quite a few kidnappings, rape victims, murder victims, horrific things like that in this series. So I will tell you, this is definitely not a book for you if you don't like an over-the-top alpha and kind of the small town setting. That's what you're getting here. So she has kind of always had a thing for him, and she has, you know, given up. And then he decides to show interest in her, and she's like, we've known each other our whole lives. Like, why are you showing interest now? And they have a really cute romance. I liked it. Once he decides to actually pursue her, he does ferociously, fiercely, whatever. Like watching the shadow of a bee on the window, so that's fun. But anyways, I just really like this one. I thought that she was sweet. She's one of those people who is an avid reader. She goes home and reads every night romance books, and she keeps her handy dandy toy ready for any smelly scenes, and I thought that that was fun. Next I have Rhythm, which is the Librarians Coven #1 by Kathryn Moon. This is a polyamorous reverse harem, so there are 3 men and 1 female. However, they are all romantically involved, and that is the norm for their society. That is what covens do. They're kind of a group polyamorous family, regardless of what genders or non-genders might appear in that coven. There's no set standard or anything. It's just whatever group your family is. I like this one. She is very like she's not prude. She looks like a prude. She has like button up oversized dresses and stuff, and that doesn't change throughout the series, which I thought was kind of fun. You know, it wasn't the story of an ugly duckling turning into a swan. This was what she liked and was comfortable in and wanted to keep, and they liked her for that, not in spite of it. So I did really enjoy that aspect. Obviously this is magical, since I said covens. They're at a university. She's one of the new university librarians, and she actually has a pretty powerful magic that's not well known, and she's not aware that she has it. And her love interests kind of find out. They're all different professors. I think they're all professors at the university, and they're all very different from one another. You definitely get scenes with any duo or trio of the 4 of them. That was a very, very interesting world. Very interesting magical things happen with the library, and I just kind of love Kathryn Moon as an author. She's had several very successful, for me, series. Next I have A Lesson in Blackmail by K.D. Robichaux, which this is like my favorite. It's you know, this is my favorite one. Although I really did like the ones I've already talked about, but this is my favorite one. So she is the school librarian. She's 22 and she is very submissive. That is who she is as a person, in the bedroom, all around. She is not a doormat, but she's definitely submissive, and with her anxiety, it's actually really helpful for her not to have to make decisions about things. Not being forced to do anything against her will, obviously, but just not having to come up with all the decisions all the time is something that's very helpful for her. And she has a romance with the 18-year-old heir to the school who is very alpha, very dominant. He is very much the aggressor and the pursuer in this. Obviously, he is of age, and it's not a huge age gap, although there is a definite age gap between 22 and 18. So it's still taboo, like a dark romance, except it's not. So it's marketed as bully romance. He kind of messes with her at the beginning. Literally the most he does is like say things to try and make her stammer or blush or drop something. He's like not actually mean to her though. He just likes pressing her buttons, and that dynamic actually changes very quickly. He's very protective of her emotionally and everything else, and he's very sweet to her, and they have a romance where they explore BDSM together. Turns out she is actually a experienced submissive, and he was not aware that his urges were something that could be channeled through BDSM, although he definitely knew some things about it. So yeah, it's him learning how to be a dominant and her having somebody who gives her everything that she needs. It's actually like cute and sweet BDSM taboo. Next I have Awakens, which is Awakens #1 by Elise, Kova. This is a young adult series, so there is no explicit sexual content, language, violence. There's nothing explicit about it. This is again a magical fantasy librarian, and I really enjoyed this one. I think magicians are considered to be evil in this one, and turns out maybe that wasn't true. Maybe she had a lot of prejudices that she is gonna have to learn to fix. And she has a romance throughout the series. Did I finish the series? Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. I read everything until the very last book and then randomly stopped and never picked it back up, which I did not think was a problem until I had to start talking about things for booktube and had to realize how many series I never actually finished. I really enjoyed the librarian aspect in this. I really enjoyed the relationship and the world overall. I did read it a few years ago, but it is something that if you like young adult fantasy and like librarians, I think that you would like it. Lastly, I have Rejected, which is Shadow Beast Shifters #1 by Jaymin Eve. This is kind of a Beauty and the Beast type retelling. So we have a shifter girl who is bullied horribly by her entire pack. It's really, like, I skimmed it. It was not fun to read. The whole beginning of the first book is like that. And then she is mated to basically her worst bully, and he rejects her, and that is just incredibly harmful for a shifter. And so she is kind of in agony and screams out to their god, their shifter god, the Shadow Beast, and she touches the shadow realm and brings him to her, and he takes her to his magical library where she works and banters with him. Their romance does take a little bit of time, like a couple books, and there's quite a few twists. Did I finish the last book? No. I didn't finish the last book for Ribbon either. I never read that last book. Oh my god. So out of my 5 recommendations, 2 are standalones and 3 are series that I didn't finish. I feel like if you're not one of my regular viewers, you're gonna be like, this girl, why are you recommending books that you don't read? No, like, I did read these ones, but gotta go where the reading mood takes you. I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, she and the Shadow Beast have a romance, and there's a library and quite a few magical texts and lots of drama. So there you go. I thought I was a professional now, but no, alas, still an amateur hour. It's fine. I think that you would enjoy any of these books. Maybe. I enjoyed all of them. That's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.